Last time, we put a meter in front of the agent, a hard spending cap, so a runaway loop could never again turn into a $47,000 invoice. Tonight that same meter killed honest work. The agent was deep inside a long review job. 4 real tasks, the kind of heavy, legitimate run you bought the tool for. It crossed the line mid-task, and the meter did the only thing a cap knows how to do. It closed the door. The job died with the finish line in sight, and the cap counted that as a win. Here is the problem. A cap sees one number, the total. It cannot tell a marathon from a fire. So tonight we teach it the difference. We build a kill switch that watches how the money is being spent and only pulls the plug when the spending stops looking like work. Look at what the meter actually sees. One number, climbing. Here is a runaway loop. An agent stuck asking for a summary of its own summary, faster every round. And here is a real working agent, deep in a 4-task review. Expensive, heavy, worth every cent. To the cap, these two are the same picture. Same total, same line crossed, same closed door. And tonight the honest job spent 75 times more than the loop did. Anything that judges work by its price alone will execute your best work first. But the gateway knows more than the total. It sees every single request, when it came, how big it was, what it asked for, and in that stream, a runaway has a shape. Watch the loop near identical requests, a heartbeat with no variation, the gaps between beats shrinking as it feeds on itself. Now the honest job bursts and pauses. Big thinking, then quiet, then a burst of small checks, then thinking again. The rhythm of something actually working through a problem. You do not need to see a single prompt to tell these apart. The meter just has to stop watching the total and start watching the rhythm. So we build the smarter wall. 3 pieces, all free, on the gateway you already have from last time. 1. The gateway writes every request to its ledger, who spent how much, when. 2. A small watchdog watches that ledger as it grows, and computes 2 things per agent, how fast the spending is accelerating, and how repetitive the requests have become. 3. When both cross the line, and stay crossed, the watchdog tells the gateway to block that agent's key, not the whole system. 1 key, 1 agent cut off mid-breath. The honest job never dies for one suspicious moment because the watchdog waits for the shape to hold. The loop trips it in under 2 minutes because a loop cannot help being a loop. And here's the engine itself. Not a diagram this time, the actual file. The repetition score is just one question: how much do the request sizes and the gaps between them vary? Almost no variation, and the score climbs toward 1. A metronome, not a person. Then the whole decision is a single line, spending fast and looking repetitive, and still both, 1 poll later. That is the kill switch. Barely 100 lines, and you have now seen the ones that matter. Now the test both runs for real. On the left, the honest agent, 4 chain tasks, 95 requests, over 1 million tokens through the gateway. It sails straight past the point where the old cap executed it, and finishes everything, just under 6 minutes. On the right, the staged runaway, and watch the watchdog study its spending accelerating, repetition rising. First one window, loop-like, watching, then a second window, and the key dies. 84 seconds from the loop's first request to a closed door, 39 cents of damage. Last year, the same shape ran for 11 days and cost $47,000. The difference is not a lower cap. It is a wall that knows what a fire looks like. Now the part the demo videos skip. And tonight I have the receipts. This watchdog is rules, and rules have edges. My first version had the thresholds I just showed you, -1 detail. And 47 seconds after it killed the loop, it killed the honest agent too. The job was finishing. A quick burst of small, similar wrap-up calls, and for 1 window, that burst looked exactly like a loop. Execution at the finish line. The fix is one idea: a fire does not flicker. A real loop holds its shape, window after window, because it cannot do anything else. Honest work looks suspicious for a moment, and then moves on. So the watchdog now waits for the signature to hold twice before it pulls the plug. And even then, these numbers fit this machine and this workload. Yours will differ, and you will tune them. Some failure shapes will not match any rule you wrote in advance. That is not a reason to skip the watchdog. It is the reason the ledger it watches becomes your most valuable file. Every request, every shape, every incident, including my false kill tonight, the raw material for catching what the rules miss. We are going to do something with that file. And the bridge, as always. On this laptop, the watchdog protects a hobby budget. At a bank, the same three pieces: gateway, ledger, killswitch, protect the kind of invoice that ends careers. And the regulator expects you to prove the wall existed. Same moves. Only the stakes change. The cap stops the bleeding. The watchdog stops the wound. And that ledger we just started writing. Every action, every agent, every shape. Next time we turn it into the thing auditors dream about. A flight recorder for your agents. I'm Stig. I build and run the systems behind a group of Danish banks. Commands are in the description. See you in the next one.